Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. This is Eileen with Unique Gifts and Decor by Lady Di. It's Friday, you guys, and I'm hoping everybody's getting ready for the weekend. It is raining here in North Carolina, and we expected rain Friday or Saturday, which I'm glad it is today, because tomorrow and the rest of the weekend is supposed to be very sunny and nice. Should be in the 70s, I believe. But I just want to come back, you guys, and show you what I have done with these tins that I showed you guys earlier. I did shrink wrap them, okay, because I wanted them to kind of be stay basically confined in place, okay. I'm getting a little tongue-tied today, but here is the blue one as well. So while I've got you guys on camera, I'm going to show you the bows that I'm going to do. Now this first one here, which has got the green the green tin, I'm going to use these two ribbons. Now, these ribbons that I did get from Sam's, and they are the 1.5 inch ribbon. So we're just going to do different colors with the ribbon, and I'm going to use my Bow Dabra, as you all know that I use. So let me show you right quick how we can get these ribbons taken care of. And it should be an easy process right quick here. But I just want to show you guys the easy way to make these bows with the Bow Dabra or whatever you're using. Some of you all may be using the Easy Bow Maker. But my baby is this Bow Dabra. A couple of my subscribers have already purchased them, and they've said that they love it. It's very simple. I know one of them had surgery, so she had that copper tonal, and basically she says this is just a wonder for her. But again, you find out what's best for you in making your ribbons, and move forward accordingly. But again, this has worked perfectly for me on my bows. I guess once I get my designing and finish the wrapping and designing the baskets, the bow is the next step. So, a lot of people may take a lot of time with the bows. I'm so busy just excited about designing them that the bows, yes, bows do make the baskets. But, if you can find a bow technique that's very simple and easy for you to do, so you can move on to the next designing idea, then, that's where I'm at, okay? And don't get me wrong, I'm not just diminishing the time put in on your bows, but you all know I am a time management person, and I try to do things in decency and order, and I try to get multiple things done in the 24 hours that I have in a day, okay? And I've always been a multitasker, even when I was working as a big title, a financial data analyst. So you have to multitask on a lot of things at the bank where I was employed. So and I guess I've done that all in a lot of things. And as women, we do multitask. We work, we come home, we do laundry, we cook. We do the kids' homework. We all are multitaskers in some kind of way or another. But I've just incorporated multitasking in my life, and it's kind of worked for me. And it basically puts things in order for me, and it simplifies a lot of things for me, you guys. So just want to put that plug in there for you. If you're a multitasker, it's okay. There's many of us out there. But anyway, you guys, also I wanted to talk to you guys today. As I showed you all earlier, I am in a group called the Sister Circle International, and what they do is Pastor, she comes on and in the morning times and does nuggets. Basically, it's just a women's group, to be honest, and we're studying God's word. We're doing things in our community. It's just a lot of things that it's very informative. They do classes on certain things in the Bible, faith. Right now we're studying the book of Ruth, and she's digging into Ruth and Naomi's relationships. Just a lot of things. So this morning she did one on loyalty, how Ruth was really loyal to Naomi, And if you ever get a chance, you can, I'll put the link in the description. But she, yesterday, she has, there's so many people in the circle, you guys. A lot of professional people. There is nutritionists, there's ministers, pastors, therapists. I mean, people are starting businesses within the circle by just, networking and being, a part of it. And she kind of does gives women the push to get out there and, because we all do procrastinate on some things, but, she's showing us what our potential can be. So last night, let me show you this right now so far. So here's this one, you guys. So last night, she had one of the therapists that's in the, she's a licensed therapist in the circle, and she came on and she did a class on self-care. And this is the one we're going to work on now, you guys, the blue one. So in her class, let's see, so I'm going to use this solid blue as well as this ombre blue and green. So in the class, she was talking about basically self-care, and I did write some notes here, and especially about our mental health. She says, women, we wear hats, so many hats, and then we wonder why we get tired and why we get burnt out. She said we need to assess what we need to cut back on or cut out totally. That makes a lot of sense. Sometimes we add things onto our plates that's really, some things we just don't really want to do. But, people ask us to do things. Sometimes we just can't say no. Guilty. I've been there, done that. But when I started to saying no, especially to my kids, like our mama says no or Nana says no. I mean, especially my daughter, she was freaking out. But, I had put her to a test years ago, and I said, some things you rely on me to handle all the time, and you can handle yourself. So I said, wonder if Mama passed away, what would you do? She said, well, Mama, I handle it. I said, okay, Mama's dead right now, okay? So handle it. So she that's a way for her to grow up on handling some things on her own. But, it was a hard pill for her to swallow. But as of today, honey, she is thriving so well. Sometimes we just got to learn how to say no to things, and that will give us that inner peace as well. So she said also, you can seek counseling or therapy, and sometimes if you don't have the means for that, she says, what little things I can do to adjust myself. And she was mentioning that we can walk. Walking takes a lot of stress off of you, guys. And then she says, also ask for help. Sometimes we wear that superwoman, the big S on our chest, okay? We're superwoman. We can do anything. We can do everything. But sometimes, we got to take that S off, okay? And it's okay to ask for help when you're in need of something. It's not a weakness. As women, you guys, we are nurturers and we carry so much. But sometimes it gets to a point in our life where we can't carry anything else. So it's okay to ask for help. She says a lot of times things that are in our minds cause us a lot of grief. And she kind of went into grief too. And it's not just grieving when someone passes away. You can grieve loss of a relationship, even a family member, a job, a loss of income, a pet, whatever. All those things are losses. And then she was saying you can grieve money. And a lot of them was like, what? Yeah, you can grieve money. Sometimes when you are changing jobs or getting divorced or whatever the situation is, and the money that you were counting on in your household is not there anymore. So you have to make changes. And that could be, that's a big form of grief, because you're trying to figure out, oh my gosh, what I'm going to do, or, my lifestyle's changing. I've got to move. I got to change, downsize, or whatever the situation is. That is a form of grief. And she also said, you guys, grief is invisible. We can't see grief, but we can feel it. Okay? And then she was going down the line, says the stages of grief. One of the stages of being in of grief is being in denial. You know, we try, things happen and, you know, we just, oh my gosh, you know, that's really not happening to me, or, you know, I'm not in that situation. You know, that's one form of grief. The other one is anger. Yeah, grief will make you get angry, okay? That's one of the things definitely that we all have experienced. And then you're bargaining in grief. You're like, well, is this really happening to me? Or why is this happening to me? Or God, you know, why didn't you put that on somebody else? Why me? That's another form of grief. And then you're really shocked. You know, that's like, wow, is this happening? You know, I can't believe this. And then the other one is depression. Now that is a real form of grief. Mental health is basically, you guys, it's very, very important out there. I don't know anybody personally that is really going through mental health right now. But again, you know, it could happen to anybody, you know. And then the last one she was talking about is an acceptance. ACCEPTANCE. So in acceptance, basically, you have to address it, okay? And I know back in the day, and maybe it's happening today, but you know, in most families, you know, basically when something happens, you know, people sweep things under the rug. And today, I guess in society today, people don't want to address things. They just kind of like, oh, you know, we're going to sweep this under the rug and we're just going to forget about it like it never had happened. But then you're carrying that inside your heart, inside your spirit. And that's not good too, because by you carrying all those things that you have not addressed, you get headaches. Your body breaks down. You get all that tension. I mean, you know, you can tell the difference in your body. And that's just stress. I mean, it's all boiled in together, you know, balled up together is in one. But we just need to stop sweeping things under the rug or just not addressing it. I've always been a person where I was a peacemaker. And when things happen, you know, I didn't want to confront those. You know, I just, you know, I kind of wasn't sweeping things under the rug. I just was never a confrontational person. So I kind of let people kind of walk all over me a little bit. But, you know, I grew up out of that. But anyway, talking about sweeping stuff under the rug, you have to be mindful of what the situation is. If it's stressing you out with a relationship or family member or whatever, you have to address it. And a good thing is conversation. Conversation and closure is very important. And what I mean by that, you guys, here's this one right here, right quick here. Conversation and closure. In conversating, let's see. So this is the next blue one that I'm going to do here, you guys. And let's see which one. So I'm going to use the pink. And I think I'm going to use the ombre with this one as well. So in, did I put the ombre? Yeah. So in, as I was saying, conversation and closure is important. You have to address the situation, or if it's a situation with a person, you have to address it to get your peace, okay? Sometimes in talking to people or addressing the situation, it can be stressful, but you have to address it, okay? Once you address it, now, whoever the situation is, if you're in a relationship with somebody, or you all have a disagreement, or you just don't have peace with a certain person, or whatever that situation is, have that conversation if you can, okay? That's the key. If that person is responding to you, you reaching out, they want to talk, you know, have that conversation. But if you don't go into a confrontational situation, that happened to me. And just a little background, me and my sister, we were having odds, you know, years ago, and, you know, different things. And, you know, I reached out to her, and at first, you know, I wrote her a letter, you know, talking to her in general, and she wrote me back with something stupid, okay? And then I said, Lord, help me. So I tried it again because it was on my spirit. You know, sometimes even though you know you didn't do wrong, but you just have to be the bigger person. So I did that. I reached out to her, didn't get a response. So I said, Lord, I'm going to leave it alone. I said, you keep on reaching back to a person and you don't get, you're trying to figure out, well, what's going on with the situation, and they don't even respond back. So I'm like, okay. So I was going to leave it alone. I said, I'm done. I even told my kids, I'm done. I don't know what I did, but whatever it was, I don't even know. And I don't believe she knew either. And so Holy Spirit prompted me for the last time to contact her. So I was talking to my son. He said, Mama, pray before you talk to her. I said, I got this, Terrell. I don't pray if I'm okay. So what we were doing on the phone, instead of talking, we were talking at each other, okay? And then in that case, she said something that hit my button, and I was calm until she said a certain thing, and then we were just talking over each other. So I had to stop and say, well, you were not getting anywhere, so, I'll talk to you later. And then the next day I called her after I prayed about it. I said, Lord, I didn't want to leave it like that. But when I called her back and we talked, I said, whatever it is, I said, let's just agree to disagree and move forward. And all she kept saying, that's what I said. She was still being animate and blah, blah, blah. But she did tell me something about 25 years ago that I had said something or done 25 years ago, sweetie. Really? You holding this for 25 years? And I asked her what it was. Well, I don't know. Okay, y'all. Do y'all have people like that in y'all's family? Okay, that's my sister. But, really? So I said, well, you know what? I said, and then she, she kept on. I said, well, you know what? I'm in the car. I got to go to the store. And I'm on my way to the store, but I'll talk to you later. So I was done with the situation because I did my part. Even though she didn't receive what I was saying, she was still in her own zone or whatever. Okay. Couple days later, she's texting me, hey sis, how you doing? Hope you have a good day. Now mind you, you guys, 2 days earlier she was just being at me, but I guess the Holy Spirit got a hold of that tail, okay, and told, and reminded her, you're holding something and you don't even know what you're holding against me, okay? And to be honest, she didn't even know. So in saying all that, you guys, it's a big example, but I'm telling my business. But anyway, if that person doesn't receive you, you've done your part, okay? And then just realize we can agree and we can't disagree, but let's move forward. That's all I was wanting to let her know. It's not that serious, okay? Whatever happened 25 years ago, my God, are you really holding that grudge? And first of all, I didn't want my blessings to be blocked, me holding a grudge or unforgiveness towards somebody. So I don't know what she going through or whatever, but you know what? It is what it is. So in saying all that, you guys, I didn't want to go through all that, but anyway, you do your part and just agree that you can't, you agree together that you all disagree and move forward. She also talked about relationships where married relationships or single. She's especially talking to the single women, and she was saying, sometimes we are comparing ourselves with others, not just single, but married women. Some single people are not in relationships, and some people are. And you're just picking up somebody to be in a relationship because your girlfriends are in relationships, or and they have somebody. Or someone's married and they on the outside it looks like everything's well and fine and everything, but you guys, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors in anybody's house, okay? They can come out and lovey-dovey fine, but they get in the car, or especially leaving church, everybody so holding hands, lovey-dovey, well, not just church, but anywhere. And then by the time they get to their car, they are fussing and fighting on the way back home, or they sleeping in one room. They're not even sleeping together in the same room in the house. I mean, she's on one side of the house, he's on the other side of the house. So no one knows what goes on in anybody's relationship. Looks can be deceiving. That's why we should never compare ourselves with anybody else. We are uniquely made, okay? And if you desire that relationship to be married or whatever that may be, then you have to wait until God sends that person. You don't want God to send you somebody that ain't, well, he ain't going to send you somebody that's for you anyway. The problem is us. We be choosing, okay? We be choosing him or her and find out, Lord, I should have waited. I should have listened. I should have, would have, could, okay? But in saying all of that, you guys, I mean, it was very interesting. I would definitely put their link in it. I think she talked about maybe 35, 40 minutes. But it was really interesting what she was saying. And then she says we have to accept where we are. Because a lot of us sometimes, like, I wish I was further along in life or further along here and there. You just have to be content and accept where you are. Because if you are praying and asking God for something, He knows exactly where you are. And we have to just be patient and we have to wait on Him. But in waiting on Him, we have to be consistent. Inconsistent in our business, inconsistent in taking care of ourselves in our daily lives. As I tell you guys, always, here is this one, you guys. God will do the super if we do the natural. Supernatural. God does the super, we do the natural. And once that happens, you guys, things will come in place. Everything's going to fall in place. And we'll be like, wow, I can't believe this happened so soon. Or, it's just wonderful. But again, it all starts with us doing self-care for ourselves. I can't stress that enough, you guys. Mental health is no joke out here. You all see a lot of things on the news, especially with people buying guns and different things, and they shouldn't have guns because they have mental health issues and stuff. I mean, and it's not just the guns thing, but I mean, a lot of people committing suicide, and please check on your friends and neighbors or whatever, and whenever somebody's going through something, try to be there. Again, we have to be better people. But it all starts with us, because we can't be there for someone else until we take care of ourselves, okay? So, y'all, enough said. But I thought it was so interesting, sometimes you don't have to pay for therapy. Sometimes you can just watch other respectable groups, YouTube channels that talks about positive things. Now, that's another thing. Everything on YouTube is not for everybody. Everybody say everything on Facebook. Everything on Facebook and YouTube is not biblically made or having biblical sense, whatever it is. You just have to discern what is of God and what is not of God. And the YouTube is not gospel. Facebook is not gospel. But you just have to pick up that word for yourself. And always protect your peace. That's the main thing. You've got to take care of yourself, because sometimes, even though you might have family members and people around you, but you can't be good for them, and they really can't be good for you until they take care of their peace as well and make sure they're okay. And also, please stop trying to put a lot of pressure on other people. I've seen people, they get married or they're in a relationship and they want that significant other person to be their all in all, to make sure they are satisfied and make sure that they're making them happy. Well, first of all, you have to be, how can I say this? You have to be comfortable with yourself. You have to be comfortable in your own skin, because nobody can make you happy but you, okay? Your happiness should come from God, and He's the one that can give you that peace, that joy that's everlasting. Us down here on earth, people, they can give you a little joy, but if that person leaves your life or whatever, then what you going to do? You going to fall apart? No, you go to your Heavenly Father where your joy comes in at. And you're putting a lot of pressure on somebody to make you happy and give you all this joy, and they can only do for so much. And my pastor always put it like this: marriage is like icing on a cake. You can eat cake all day long without icing. You can be content with that cake, pound cake, chocolate cake, whatever kind of cake you got. Cake by itself is good. But once you put that icing on there, it makes it pop, okay? So, but again, we can live by ourselves. We can make it by ourselves until God sends us that right person. You don't have to rely on someone to give you peace, joy, happiness. Honey, that comes from God. But again, stop putting pressure on someone else to make you happy. You got to look in the mirror and be confident in yourself and make yourself happy. Now, if that person adds to your happiness, wow, you got it going on. But don't put that much pressure on another person. to make you happy, especially even on the weekends. You know, I'm waiting on my friend to come around to do this, or I'm waiting for my husband to do this and this and that. And they might have a long weekend. They may not feel like doing all of this. And you walking around pouting and mad because he don't want to spend no time with me, or she don't want to spend no time with me. Okay, how about you going out by yourself and doing something by yourself? Make yourself happy. And then once that person gets their rest in or whatever, then y'all come together and you all will be okay. But you know, we need to stop putting a lot of pressure on other people to fulfill our needs. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Anyway, I think I have talked enough. Too much, I think. But anyway, I just wanted to get that out about the mental health. I mean, you guys, we just got to make sure we are okay. Okay, that's the main thing. So here is the last one I did with this gingham ribbon here. So I think it turned out really good, you guys. So I didn't mean this video to be long, but I just wanted to encourage you guys, as I always do. We got to take care of ourselves, be consistent in our jobs, in our life, in our business, okay? Because as long as we are consistent and we do the natural, God will step in and he'll do the super. Be blessed to the next video. Please let me know what you think about my bows or how the concept worked with the shrink wrap. To the next video, you guys be blessed. Bye-bye.